Yeah, we got a considerable drag on this wheel there, so we're gonna grab a socket, pull it off, see what's going on here. Aftermarket wheels. Can't get a socket in there. Not an impact, so we'll have to get a chrome one. Just a little bit of insight. There's a hog ring on the end of this anvil of the gun. So chrome sockets are not designed to be put on these guns. If they were, they'd have a ball bearing in here. So you should probably grab yourself a little 1-inch extension. See the ball? Permits the socket to go on and off with ease. If you were to put the socket direct on there, you'd be standing there and you wrenching her back and forth trying to do the deal. Getting all discouraged, upset for no reason. So I just put a little extension in between. That way there it doesn't bind up. Bad enough that it will anyways on the knot. Periodically, wouldn't hurt to, like for instance like this, take your, you can go get some new wheel nuts. Chrome starts peeling. Some of them are chrome capped, avoid stuff like this, Anyhow, we'll carry on. Good old fast wheels. Suppose I call them fast wheels, Sean, because you put them on the car, it looks like it goes faster.
Yeah, like a Hot Wheels car.
Sean, it's Mazda 3. It's anything but a Hot Wheels car. I can see Mattel mass producing them. Speaking of dinky cars, you ever play with them as a kid?
Yeah, I had a bunch of Matchbox when they used to make them. Where they used to make them in England and in America.
Nice. Well, I had over 400 Hot Wheels as a young buck. Doing the deal. Had my junkyard cars, had my race cars, had my collector cars. I was trying to build a whole community out of the cars I had. Some of them, of course, had to modify with a Tanya Harding 100. Didn't want to smash the shit out of the body, so re-arch them, do the deal, bend them up a little bit. They were the junkyard cars. Of course, demolition's a major part of my background, so been doing that a lot of years. I turned around and had my derby cars, built derby rings, stuff like that. My kids are all into the demolition, so over the years, kind of at their birthdays, we made derby rings and stuff like that. Painted the cars all up. So right now what we're trying to determine is what's holding the wheel. Whether it's a parking brake not releasing properly or a seized caliper. I'll give you a quick rundown. We'll make sure the pivot's free and that it releases. So that'll tell us the integrity of the cable. Another thing you want to do is, it's hard to do on this one, but if this wasn't a worm-geared caliper, you turn around and you try to, you get a pry bar in here and you try to push it back. It doesn't go. Don't force it. Open the bleeder. Watch the fluid. It should automatically start dripping. If it does not, let it start dripping. Then, get in here and see if you can move the piston back. If it moves freely, that means that we assume the caliper's okay. Close the bleeder. Pump the brake back out. Try it again. Of course, it doesn't move. So, we already know if we open the bleeder, it'll go back. So you come over here to this brake line, spray it all down. I use Lloyd's Move It. Open this brake line here. See if you can push it back. If you can't, we already know that when we open the bleeder on the caliper, it goes back, meaning the caliper's okay. This rubber line or flex hose, it can collapse inside like an artery. So what happens is brake fluid, because of the pressure being exerted, it will flow through. But when you release it, there's no pressure to release it, so the fluid stays in there. So you step on the brake, you get 100% brake application. You release the brake, it only releases, say, 90%. And you hit the brake again because you're in a lot of stop and go traffic, or you've seen, some lady maybe jogging down the road and you want to take a second look or something like that. So every time you hit the brakes, you get 100% application, but you only get 90, maybe 85, then 80. So what I'm saying is the brakes don't release, so it stays here, heats them up. So, it's a way of not having a bunch of egg on your face. This caliper assumably is about 180 bucks. So you put it on. Well, I just showed you how to determine if that's what it was. Well, no, you put that caliper on, you're proud of your job, you put the wheel back on, you go down the road, you hit the brakes, next thing you know, you let your foot off the brake, car won't roll ahead, smoke's rolling out. Somebody's pulling up behind you saying, hey, your car's on fire, it gets you all discouraged. Take these steps that we're showing you, make sure, because you could put potentially a $60 flex hose on it and fix your problem. Further than that, if it still don't release, then you got to go up and, check the master cylinder. General rule of thumb is, I do, if the brakes aren't releasing and, the caliper does, the flex hose does, you can loosen the brake line, make sure it releases there, you pump it back out. If it didn't, sometimes it's as simple as loosening the master cylinder and let it come away from the brake booster. If it releases, then maybe you got a master cylinder issue. Or somebody's adjusted the push rod to give you a false pedal height, and that don't allow it to release. So that's one of the hardest things to track down. So, there are processes of elimination. If you got any comments, questions, or concerns, you can, put her down there in the comments section. We'll see if we can, answer it as smartly and as intelligently and as promptly as we can. Bear in mind, we're just two dudes with attitudes. So, anywho, we'll move forward. I'm going to open the bleeder here and see if I can push it back. I have to remove this caliper because it's a worm gear one, meaning I have to use the thing to push it back in. So, we'll get back to you here in a couple and we'll show you what we find. Thank you.